All right, welcome everyone to the 10th Formula 1 Grand Prix review on my stream and the YouTube channel. Now, it was the Silverstone Grand Prix. First time I've seen the sprint format in Formula 1. It was a very interesting weekend, a lot to talk about. Now, if you don't know what the Grand Prix review is, pretty much on my stream on a Monday straight after a Grand Prix, we hop on, we watch a bunch of videos, discuss everything that we can about the weekend. We then hop onto Reddit, do a Reddit recap, just check out all the posts from the week. We then have a look at everyone's F1 fantasy and F1 play, and yeah, just overall have a good time. And then I edit up into a YouTube video on Wednesday. In that video, I also have my live watch-along reactions from the weekend. So let's get into them. Real quick though, I just want to apologize for my reaction to the Max Verstappen crash. Obviously, I'm here to support to watch Formula 1 and enjoy it as a sport. And my initial reaction was obviously seeing my favorite driver, Charles Leclerc, go into the lead. I did realize it was a big shunt, and I did obviously note that with my reaction, but I didn't really realize how severe that crash could have been. And I kind of continued on with how Leclerc's leading the race and the championship and blah, blah, blah. That crash really opened up my eyes, and seeing all the fan footage, it kind of opened up my eyes to the fact that in Formula 1, you know, these guys are driving at insane speeds, and, you know, every crash can be a bad one. And maybe not to celebrate too early until we see that the driver's okay. Not that I necessarily celebrated, but, you know, I started pointing out things that weren't related to the crash. And I've seen a lot of people aren't happy with that. And I guess it's something that I can learn for the future. I'm glad that Max Verstappen's okay. You know, obviously he did go to hospital to get all the checks done. And he's now, thank God, from the seams of it, it seems like he is all good. Yeah, thank God for the tire barrier. Thank God no one in the crowd got hurt with that tire coming off. But yeah, let's get into the live watch-along reactions. Alonso, can Russell do anything? Can Russell do anything? Oh my God, Russell in Q3 again! Holy shit! But this is sprint qualifying. He is fucked tomorrow. He is fucked. Oh, he's lost the back end. That could be good for Max. Hamilton doesn't improve. Oh no. What can he do? No. Wow. Done to Max Verstappen. Sorry, Lewis Hamilton on pole position. Perez P4. Leclerc being best of the rest. Nice. Russell P8. Oh, Leclerc P4. Perez track limits. Verstappen, good start. Already up into P1. Bottas almost passed Hamilton as well. There you go. No crashes. Crashes are going to be awful in a sprint race. Any crashes are terrible. Oh, Lewis is on Max though on the straight. Lewis is going for it. Nah, Max keeps it. Nice work, dude. Nice work. Oh, my Lord. They've got to go for it, but they also got to be careful not to ruin their tomorrow's race. Wonder how much Alonso's... Perez is round! And he's into the wall, and he's crashed. That's probably going to be a safety car. No, he's good, he's good, he's good. And his race is over tomorrow. This is fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Orlando went for it. Oh, what an overtake. Nice work. Max, really good start. Oh, had to defend Lewis, though. Max around the outside, scraping the floor, but he keeps in front. Let's go. Leclerc's past Bottas already. Oh, wow. Max, Lewis is going to get jumped. Max here. Hamilton is in front. Oh, they touch. Max hits the place. Oh, my Lord. The British Grand Prix is always so good for opening laps, I feel. Hamilton's going to try again, this time on the inside. Oh, no. Max is out. That's a huge shunt. That is a huge shunt. Lewis might have damage as well. Leclerc is winning. Let's go. That's huge for the championship. Safety car. Full safety car. That is mad. That is mad. Huge shunt for... Yeah, God hope he's okay. That was a huge shunt. Okay, Max is good. Huge shunt. Oh, he's sore. He's hurt. I'll be honest, I was looking at my second monitor when that happened, but I just saw a car flying off in the corner of my eye. I think that's Lewis's fault a little bit too deep. Yeah, that's Lewis's fault. Good start from Leclerc. Great start from Leclerc. And Norris gets past Bottas. Wow. Bottas, what are you doing, man? Your start's a sucky. I wasn't paying attention. Did Vettel get spun? Or did he just spin? No. Leclerc, please, no. Yeah, look at Hamilton, how much time he's caught. Okay, come on. Power on, power on, power on. Okay. He lost 4 tenths. But he's still... Hamilton still hasn't got DRS. Let's go. Woo! Okay. That's scary there for a second. A bit scary. We're good. We're chilling. No DRS. Every time Lewis gets close, he just drops back.
Norris is a problem, and he's there a little bit longer than he would have wanted.
Oh, okay. 6 seconds. Wow. That's going to put Bottas very much in contention now. Oh my God. Do your pit stops properly! Idiots! Idiots! Hire me. These guys suck. Okay, well, he's gonna be behind fucking Ricardo now. He would have been in front of Ricardo, but not anymore. Do it properly. Yes! And he gets past very easily. Wow, okay. To even think Leclerc is fighting for the lead right now is insane to think about. Oh, no. He backs out. Leclerc's gone wide. All right, we're good, but Leclerc's lost the place now. Dude, the thing, Lewis has gone down the inside there twice now after that incident. Ah, man. What a race from Lewis, even with a 10-second time penalty. Bottas, you don't see Bottas doing that. Damn it, man. I'm so, dude. You see it, Leclerc win in a car that shouldn't be winning. It is a very bittersweet win, though, for Lewis. I mean, do you want to be winning after taking out your closest rival? I don't know, but great win from Lewis. But yeah, those are my reactions from the race. It was quite a good race, you know. There was a portion in the race where there was like 40 laps of kind of like nothing, but there was a lot of drama and a lot to talk about. You know, that's at the end of the day, I feel like every single Grand Prix this year has had something special about it, something different for the most part, most of the races. And yeah, I generally thought it was a pretty good race. And you know, typical Formula One, another controversy, another like moment where it's got everyone talking, you know, people are on the fence. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into watching the race highlight for the corner, right? Lewis also comes out wide to open himself up for the corner, which ends up making him understeer out. Now look how much track there is. If you look at the same situation later where Lewis is doing this on Leclerc, he's much tighter, and that's why it works. Lewis understeers out wide, and then look at Lewis's line afterwards. Look how much gap there is. Now, I know, you know, he obviously touched Max, which means that, you know, his car drifted out wider than what it would have. But look how much space there is. There's so much space like, I honestly think even if Max left space, Lewis would have drifted out wide into him anyway. So anyways, at this point, I think it's Lewis Hamilton's fault. Lewis deserves a 10-second penalty. The stewards end up giving him a 10-second penalty. And there's been all this outrage about the penalty. And I was a bit confused why. Looking at this now, this sets a bad precedent moving forward with the Grand Prix, right? Now drivers can go for risky, somewhat dangerous moves just for a 10-second penalty. A lot of people are saying, you know, you shouldn't look at the crash you shouldn't look at the crash for the outcome, which is Max Verstappen in a wall, retired. But in this situation, I feel like you've got to, because otherwise it sets a precedent that drivers can go for moves that are dangerous, almost take their rival out, get a 10-second penalty and still win the race. Now, I see a lot of people on Twitter saying, oh, you know, fuck, Lewis won with a 10-second penalty. That's ridiculous. You know, and they're blaming the stewards. But at the same time, that's just the way Formula One is. Mercedes and Red Bull are so fucking good, specifically Lewis Hamilton and Max, where they can get a 10-second penalty. They could even probably get a 30-second penalty and they could still win the race, you know what I mean, with the other driver out. And I don't know if that's a problem with the stewards or if that's just the way Formula One is, you know what I mean? Looking at the incident, in my opinion, it's a 10-second penalty. But you've got to take into account these guys are in a championship fight. He's literally just taken out his only rival. I'm going to say this, his only rival. Bottas did shit all this Grand Prix. Perez was nowhere to be seen. He's had an incident where his main rival is out of the race and he only gets a 10-second penalty for that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still a bit on the fence, but I think at the end of the day, everyone's got to, take a step back and not blame the stewards, not blame Hamilton, not blame Max, all this shit. You know, we've got to take a step back and look at this. And I honestly think the 10 seconds is fair when looking at the incident, but I think stewards have got to start looking at it from a championship perspective where, let's say Max Verstappen next week pushes Lewis off the track, he retires, Max gets a 10-second penalty, still wins the race, you know what I mean? Could we see stuff like this start happening? Hopefully not. I don't think so. But yeah, I'm not saying Lewis did it on purpose, and I'm not saying Max will start doing this on purpose either. It's just something that the stewards need to keep in mind, that now they've set the precedent where you can go for a dangerous move, take out your main rival, and 10-second penalty, sweet, I'll still win the race. Now, another thing I want to talk about. I see a lot of people saying, oh, the stewards are so inconsistent, blah, 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 blah. Why are people flip-flopping their opinion depending on what the stewards do? So what I mean is, right now, I'm guarantee you this is what's going to happen, right? Stewards have given Lewis a 10-second penalty. Everyone's outraged. 10 seconds is not enough. Give him a 10-second stop and go. And I do agree it should be a 10-second stop and go in the context of the incident, the crash. Guarantee you, someone other than Lewis will do this, right? Whether it's in a couple of weeks' time, months' time, next season. So at one point, this will happen, right? And they'll get a 10-second stop and go, 20-second penalty, drive through, whatever it may be, right? And people will be like, oh my God, the stewards are so inconsistent. No, they're listening to your feedback. This has happened in the past. I don't really want to get into it, but back at Bahrain, this happened. The stewards started listening to feedback on track limits, and Max went around the outside, overtook Lewis. They told him to give the place back. And everyone's mourning. They're so inconsistent. They're so inconsistent. No, they're enforcing the rules now. there's so many people who think that the stewards are flip-flopping, but really they're just enforcing what everyone wants. Yeah, if there was a rule book and everyone sticks to the rule book, you can't do that in racing. There's 23 different tracks on the calendar. The rules are ever evolving. The cars are ever evolving. You can't have a rule book that is stuck to. That's why there's a steward team. The steward team changes week in, week out. I don't think that should happen personally, but the steward team changes week in, week out. They listen to feedback. The drivers' opinions change. The sport evolves. The incidents and the outcomes of the incidents are going to evolve. Moving forward, this might become a drive-through. So don't fucking complain when it becomes a drive-through, because that's what everyone wanted. They're not being inconsistent. They're listening to the feedback. Other thing I wanted to touch on was the racism towards Lewis Hamilton, with the whole backlash towards Hamilton. Now, if a driver makes a mistake, which in my opinion, Lewis Hamilton did make a mistake, he understeered out into Max. And that's the problem with this incident. Lewis did not do this on purpose. It was Lewis underestimating the power of his car, and it understeered out into Max, and it took Max out of the race, right? Now, there's a difference between criticizing a driver and being like, yeah, that was pretty dumb from Hamilton, you know, risky move, all that jazz. And there's a difference between abusing him, which is racist comments, you know, just abuse, right? I just feel like this whole situation has once again been blown out of proportion. Now people are saying you can't even fucking criticize Lewis Hamilton, you know what I mean? It hurts my brain, like, because I see people online now saying, oh, you can't criticize Hamilton, he's had such a hard weekend, you know, he's been abused online, bullied online, and I completely fucking agree. It's so bullshit. You shouldn't, no sportsman should have to put up with any sort of abuse. It's dumb, you know, like, come on guys, like, we're better than this as humans. But it's the few people in the world who ruin it for everyone, you know. It's the small group of people with just loud mouths. Now I'm seeing people saying you can't even fucking talk about the incident because Lewis Hamilton got bullied. There's a difference between criticizing and abusing someone. I can criticize Lewis Hamilton and say that was a bad mistake that caused someone to get injured, and there's a difference between going and being racist to him, you know what I mean? It honestly ruins the fun for me as a streamer, and it ruins the fun for everyone enjoying the sport. It's so hard to try have an opinion on something when people think that there's so much more to it. You know what I mean? I can't just enjoy Formula One and have an opinion on Charles Leclerc because I'm a Charles Leclerc fan. I can't have an opinion on Lewis because Lewis isn't my favorite driver on the grid. There's so much to opinions and discussions these days, it makes it so hard. Anyways, reeling it back in, talking about Max Verstappen now. I think Max Verstappen could have avoided this incident. I still think, again, it's Lewis Hamilton's fault. Max Verstappen should have realized that they were driving aggressively against each other, and that in a championship fight, one little mistake from Lewis can cause you to have your entire race ruined with no repercussion on Lewis Hamilton. But I think even if Max left more room, Lewis still would have gone into him. So, you know, it can go either way. I just wanted to touch on that. So, you know, it is a point to touch on. Red Bull. Oh my God, talking about blowing things out of proportion online. Red Bull are acting like absolute fucking idiots right now. Helmut Marko saying Lewis Hamilton deserves a race ban. I don't know what crack he's smoking. You know, it was a somewhat dangerous move, but it's racing. There's people out there saying this was so fucking dangerous. Max, you know, Lewis was trying to kill Max. You should never be going for a move like that. Do you want to end someone's life? And it's like, that's racing, guys. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are losing the difference between a racing incident and dangerous driving and aggressive driving. I think the whole point leading up to the incident was aggressive driving. Nothing was dangerous at all. Max and Lewis were tussling. They touched twice. They squeezed each other wide. Max squeezed Lewis into the wall. Lewis went up. They were aggressively driving each other. It was hard racing. Lewis made a mistake. It ruined Max's race. He gets a penalty. It's as simple as that. There's none of this, oh, Mercedes is FIA favoring Mercedes. No. Oh, Lewis was trying to kill him. No. Lewis did that on purpose. No. Max was scared of Lewis, so he turned on him. No. There's nothing more than it was hard racing and Lewis made a mistake and he deserves to get penalized. As simple as that. He got a 10-second penalty, which I think is deserved for the incident, but for the outcome of the incident, it should have been more because his only rival in the championship is in a wall out of the race and he wins the race with a 10-second penalty. Lewis just slightly taps on the brakes knowing Max is going to drift out wide here. Just that slight brake and Max comes in front. Like, it's such smooth, clean driving from Lewis. And that's why my man's hasn't got a retirement in fucking like 3 years, because he's just so good at doing that. And other drivers need to learn that. Unfortunately, he made the mistake. But to put that back on Max for a second, Max should have realized like that incident was probably going to happen. If he just left a little bit more space, happy days, you know what I mean? Lewis just knows how to drive to avoid incidents, but he seems to cause a fair few too many at the moment. All right, back to it. Race restart after the red flag. Oh, we need to talk about this real quick. I think red flags need a rework. The fact that someone can repair their car after a red flag, during a red flag is ridiculous. I know that you can only use equivalent parts, but Lewis gets the good old super glue and duct tape on his wing, gets the hubcap change, which was completely shattered apparently. Yeah, I don't like that. And the fact that you're allowed to change tires under a red flag, not a big fan of that, to be honest. I've now experienced enough red flags to form an opinion. I don't think that should be allowed. I feel like if a red flag happens, it's a red flag. Everyone goes back out on track as they are. If you want to repair your car, you start from the pit lane. Simple as that. So, Leclerc, my boy, out in P1. At this point, I'm like, yeah, all right, Lewis is going to win the race. You know, easy clap. He'll get past Charles as soon as possible. Lando getting straight past Bottas. Bottas losing the place to Leclerc off the start, in the first start, and now losing off to Lando. I don't know what the fuck he was doing this weekend. And look how much Leclerc was pulling from the back. It was so good to see. It looked like he was fine to accelerate and then gone. Yeah, maybe just slightly too much in the turbulent air as well. So Hamilton had to get back past Norris, and man, the Hamilton has some balls to go down the inside. Again there. Bottas, for some reason, I don't get this. I don't know. Exactly, pretty much same strategy as Hamilton. Very similar pit laps. Some reason Bottas is struggling way more than Hamilton, and Hamilton gets to go through. Fair enough, team orders. I get that. You know, I'm all for, you know, team orders in Formula 1 as long as it isn't too fucking dumb. But why is Bottas struggling so much in the same car on almost the same tire strategy? Doesn't make fucking sense to me. Exact same spot that he had the incident with Max. He does it again. He goes for it. Way close to the apex. But like, look at this. Look how much closer he is to the apex. Way closer to the apex. I feel like Leclerc kind of did similar to Max until he fucking stared out, where then Lewis opened up his wheel. But yeah, Leclerc went out too wide. Probably looking at his wing mirrors, to be honest. They would have both Leclerc and Hamilton would have been during the red flag, watching the replays. They probably both would have been aware, you know, like Lewis was very aware that he needs to be careful here. Probably shouldn't even be going for the move, in my opinion, after he just had an incident there. Very, very risky, but he got it done, so good on him. And Leclerc's probably sitting there going, this guy just fucking took someone out earlier in the race, so let me, you know, he's probably too busy looking at his wing mirrors, went wide, understeered out. So,
did bring it home, and it was on penalties. What a win.
That was actually a sick line from Lewis. Not from Lewis, from Crofty. Max is still leading the championship by 8 points. I see a lot of people being like, oh, the championship's over. How the fuck is the championship over at all? The championship's going to go all the way down to the last couple of races. Max is the better driver, in my opinion, in the better car, but Lewis has way more experience. The Mercedes is way more reliable, and I think the championship's going to go all the way down to the final race. Unfortunately, there's no one else there, meaning Perez and Bottas. Neither of these two are there to fight these two when these two are having issues. Perez, perfect. Azerbaijan. Max Verstappen retired. Perez was there to put the pressure on Hamilton. Today, Perez wasn't there. Same with Bottas. Where was Bottas to help Lewis catch Leclerc and get... You know, there was... I got a lot of drivers I want to talk about. So, Lewis wins the race. Now, I see a lot of people saying this was a go-to drive from Lewis. I want to say this was a great drive from Lewis. It was a fantastic win. Ignoring the incident, it was a fantastic win. He came back after a 10-second penalty, came back through the field, solid drive, made his teammate look like a fucking idiot, and caught Charles Leclerc. But I see people saying this was a go-to drive. Even Lewis himself saying this was one of his best races of all time. He had an incident with his only rival on the track, which was then deemed his fault. He then got a 10-second penalty. Got let by. It got had his teammate let him by, and then caught a red tractor to win the race. Can you someone explain to me how that was one of Lewis Hamilton's best drives of all time? Great win. Fantastic win for Lewis. But I don't get how in any planet that is one of his best drives of all time. I don't know. It blows my mind. Anyways, Charles Leclerc, P2, fantastic race. I was so proud that he held off Hamilton for the whole first stint. I couldn't believe it. Maybe the heat, you know, playing into Leclerc's favor there. Yeah, Lewis could not get anywhere near Leclerc or even pass him at all until the end. Yeah, fantastic drive from Leclerc. Getting past Bottas, holding off Hamilton for the whole first half of the race and finishing in second. Fucking well done. Bottas. Honestly, other than the very controversial incident, I think the biggest talking point from this weekend is Valtteri Bottas. He did nothing in the sprint race. He lost out a position to Leclerc on the first race start. He then lost out a position to Lando Norris on the second race start, was stuck behind Lando Norris for the entire race, got gifted third place again because of a pit stop, then did fuck all on his hards whilst his teammate is breezing past him to go catch Leclerc. Absolutely shocking race from Bottas. Honestly, that Bottas should be winning that race. If his teammate gets a 10-second penalty and can still beat him by 11 seconds, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Okay, next up, Lando Norris. Great race from him. I mean, unlucky with the pit stop. You know, did really good to get past Bottas on that first stint. And then, yeah, the pit stop cucked him. 14 seconds in front of his teammate, even with that pit stop. He had a good race. And to get past Bottas on that race start. Daniel Ricciardo had another good weekend. I see people keep saying, oh, Daniel Ricciardo is back. I mean, he's still finishing far off his teammate and finishing where he should be. But yeah, good race from him. Nothing insane though. Sainz, good race. He qualified not that great, to be honest. Then obviously had the collision with Russell in the sprint race, which was not his fault. He then came back all the way through the field towards P11 and then finished the race in P6. Really good drive from Sainz. Alonso getting some more solid points. Did really good in that sprint race, but the Alpine's race pace just didn't seem like it was there. Yeah, Gasly. People were saying Gasly was up for driver of the day today. I don't know why. Maybe I missed something, but you know, he had an all right drive, but the puncture fucked him and he wasn't doing anything too crazy. Russell, really good weekend. Had some decent pace in the race as well to finish 12th, but yeah, unfortunately couldn't get those points again. Giovinazzi, good result. Latifi, same old. Same with Raikkonen. Actually, Latifi did well this weekend, finishing in front of Raikkonen, Mazepin, and Schumacher. Good job, and not too far off with Giovinazzi. Perez, don't know what Red Bull were doing with his tire strategy. He was on hards, plowing through the field, and then they pit him, go on meds. He gets through the field again, then they pit him again, and then I think they pit him again for softs for the fastest lap to steal it away from Mercedes. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, to steal the point away, but like, I don't know what the pit stops were beforehand. They just let him keep going through on the hards. It was weird. And then Mazepin beating Schumacher. Is that the first time this season apart from Monaco? I think it was, right? I don't know why these are getting dislikes. Anyways, it's time for our usual Reddit recap. So, best or top of the week. We'll go down to the 2.5 thousand range. There's going to be some juicy posts. So, let's get it. Max Verstappen now has more sprint race victories than Schumacher set at Hamilton. Oh, what the fuck? I got 40k upvotes. How? Lando Norris now holds the record for most consecutive points finishes as a McLaren driver. Wow, that's a great record for Norris, considering Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Jenson Button were all at McLaren as well. It's great from Lando. This is not the right decision. Pole 100% has to go to the fastest gun quality. The sprint race winners should not be awarded pole position. That will totally cannibalize the historics of F1. So, 100%. For me, it changes too much, the statistics. Pole position to Max Verstappen, who wasn't the fastest guy. Like, what? Driver of the day, Charles Leclerc deserved. I forgot to talk about my driver of the day. My driver of the day goes to Charles Leclerc. I think out of all the guys on the grid, there was only 3 really up for grabs. 3 who were really able to deserve driver of the day. I mean, there was Lewis Hamilton with his great drive, but with the incident happening, I don't think he really deserved it. Just like I don't think Lando Norris deserved it at Austria because of his incident. Then there was Carlos Sainz coming from 11th through to 6th. He had a good drive and then would have finished 5th if it wasn't for the failed pit stop from Ferrari. And then there's Leclerc, you know, getting past Bottas at the start, holding off Lewis for the whole first stint, and dealing with all the engine issues. I think, yeah, Leclerc definitely deserved driver of the day, at least in my opinion. And it seemed like the fans agreed as well. I haven't spoken about the 2022 car stuff, as that obviously got announced this week or last week. Yeah, so my thoughts on the car. I'm not a big fan of the look of the car. I think the side pods kind of look like a whale or a turtle. I don't even know. It looks weird. The front wing looks whack. I really like the rear wing, and I think the car looks pretty nice with liveries on it. But at the end of the day, mine and everyone else's thoughts on the looks of the cars does not matter. It's how it performs, and from what we're getting told, I think we're gonna have some nice cars next year. But yeah, I'd probably say it's like a B tier for me, maybe B plus on looks. Kimi is ready to collect another record. The 2007 world champion will make history at the British Grand Prix. He's set to become the first driver to race at the same circuit 20 times in an F1 career. Oh my lord. Or it's not petty, over the top. Max Verstappen's wreath right above his RB16B in the Red Bull's garage. That's cool. I like that they did wreaths for the sprint race. Charles Leclerc driving the Ferrari 375 today. Oh, that's sick. Dude, it looks so weird seeing a modern like suit and helmet in that car. George Russell's been given a 3-place grid penalty for his incident. I mean, fair, you know, just like with the Lewis Hamilton one on Max. George made a mistake, understeered, locked up into Sainz, causing Sainz' entire sprint race to kind of go in the bin. He did climb back Sainz though, but yeah, 3+ grid penalty deserved. Alfa Romeo agree a multi-year extension with Sauber to remain in Formula 1. Great. I mean, Alfa Romeo has obviously got, and Sauber have got a great history in Formula 1, so I'd love to see it continue. Although I'd love to see them do well with the cost cap now, the budget cap, because yeah, obviously they're not the top team right now, and they are somewhat pointless in Formula 1. They don't really bring much to the sport, but hopefully with the new regs, they'll be fun. fun. Has anyone else noticed how the perception of Grosjean has completely changed after his accident? Oh, I mean, yeah, of course. That happens all the time. When someone survives something like that, he used to be the most hated driver on the grid, and then people love him. I mean, you know, I'm going to stick consistent with my opinion, and I don't think Grosjean was ever a great driver, and I was never a fan of his. I don't think his personality was anything insane, but obviously, you know, you got to respect the dude for getting out of the situation like he did. And, you know, it was fucking horrific. And, you know, situations like that one with Grosjean and the one with Max yesterday, it makes you realize that these guys are humans, and that could stop at any minute. And, you know, my thing of hating drivers has kind of gone away. It's more, you know, I stick to more just criticizing and being like, yeah, I don't like them, rather than being like, yeah, Grosjean, lol, funny me, Mazepin, lol, funny. That's just fucking pointless. All the new graphics and broadcast features for the sprint race was really cool. I don't know why they didn't bring them into the race, but it was really, really cool. The little name tag above all the drivers' cars when you're following them, so you know who's who, for new fans, was sick. The on-track graphics was sick. My flatmate recently found some old negatives at his dad's place, and today we finally scanned them at home. That's really cool. Dude, that's insane. Like actual proper old photos, digitally saved or anything like that. Tattoo I did a bit ago on an enthusiastic client. What the fuck? I hate tattoos, like these type of tattoos, like big ones that take up like your whole body. But that is cool. I mean, if you're gonna get a tattoo done, you gotta get it done right. That is so cool. That's a Rouge. I mean, I guess that's a bit unrealistic. Why is there a fucking crowd overlooking a Rouge? That's not real. And then what's this? Goodyear. Goodyear at Formula One? What? Or is he like combining his love for NASCAR with the big crowds, the Goodyear with the Rouge? I don't know. Verstappen's tires at the start of the sprint race. Yeah. On fire. Apparently Martin Brundle said it. Having your brakes on fire warms up the inner cell or the inner lining of the tire, which then warms up the entire tire. So I wonder if this is a strat to warm up the tire, which, I mean, Martin Brundle reckons it is, to get heaps of grip in the front tires to get a good launch. And I mean, yeah, it worked. You just gotta make sure he doesn't leave the magic button on like Lewis did at Baku. Lewis Hamilton wins the first ever Pirelli Speed King Award. With this, I think we've got to say that Lewis Hamilton is the greatest of all time, because he has now got his first Speed King Award. And I mean, Michael Schumacher doesn't have one. Senna doesn't have one. Yeah. Valtteri at Silverstone. Sorry, I stole that joke from earlier. This is some nice photography. 6 years already have passed. 2 days ago marked 6 years since Jules Bianchi died. Obviously, I wasn't in the sport when it happened, but apparently he was meant to be like the next big Ferrari driver. So very, very sad, you know, another life taken way too soon. I'm very surprised that Sainz and Perez didn't get a pens for their rejoin. They rejoined so badly onto the track, like right into cars on the racing line. It's kind of crazy. This is terrible choice of a camera angle. Yeah, I actually agree, because you don't know who's leading, but maybe that's like the suspense. I don't know. Maybe just put the camera slightly on an angle, or maybe a helicopter view. That'd be nice. Helicopter start like they have in like NASCAR and shit. Minimum reaction times drop from FIA. Climb down on pit stops? Pog! I saw someone like tweet this. I thought it was fake. Okay, that's good. So the minimum reaction times will be dropped for pit stops will be dropped from the FIA. Well, fuck. I talked about it for like 10 minutes on the other Grand Prix review. Well, at least it's removed now. Good. Horder, F1 should switch to high revving loud engines from 2025. Yes, sir. That would be nice. Qualifying Verstappen stopped Mercedes pole domination since 2013 at Silverstone. That, again, this is just fucking bullshit. He didn't qualify on pole though. This is why the sprint race is dumb, changing all the records and the statistics. That's like really cool helmet, actually. Really nice. Kind of a different design with like a photograph on it. Nice. All right, we're finished with the Reddit recap. Let's move on to our F1 fantasy team. I think this looks like a rough week. This is a rough fucking week. Holy shit. Yeah, 218 points. Norris Turbo Driver was fucking, I think, the best thing I could have done this week. Yeah, I think that was the best Turbo Driver I could have done. Maybe Charles instead. But yeah, then we got Verstappen. Obviously, he still got 18 points because of the sprint race and qualifying, but in the end, getting a retirement so early on, he only gets 18 points, which is still pretty good for a retired driver. Schumacher only got 8 because he lost out to his teammate in the race, but not too bad. Perez getting 22. I mean, average qualifying, shit sprint, shit Grand Prix. So he did get fastest lap though, which I think helped out a little bit. Sainz was a pretty good choice. I mean, he finished in 6th in the end, but his qualifying being meh, his sprint race being shit, didn't get him much points. And then Red Bull. Yeah, I mean, a driver retiring, a driver doing shit. This was not a good team this week. All right, we're still in 8th, so we didn't drop as much as I thought. I guess other people would have had pretty similar teams. Damn, T-Mac is now leading my F1 Fantasy League. Congratulations to him. What was his team? He had Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Alonso, Norris, Red Bull. Wow, okay, so he still had Verstappen in his team, but having Alonso and Leclerc and Russell was big points for him. An extra, what was that, like 60 more points than me almost? That's insane. Well done to T-Mac. Let's have a look at who had the best team for the week. It was SMK with his Mega Driver. Okay, that's like a troll team, but it kind of like worked out. Anyways, he can keep doing what he's doing. But the leader without the best team without Mega Driver was Jones. He had Turbo Driver on Norris, Leclerc, McLaren, Hamilton, Russell, Tsunoda. That's a really, really, really good team there. Really, really good. No wonder he finished with 310 points without Mega Driver is insane. Where am I? 218. Okay, so I finished 80th. That's not too bad. 80th for the week is pretty bad, actually, when we think about it. But yeah. F1 playtime. Let's have a look at how he did. 4 out of 10 for Great Britain. Yeah. I mean, no one got 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 8 out of 10. Only 0.39% got 7 out of 10. 2.9% got 6 out of 10. 10% got 5 out of 10. I got 4 out of 10, which was only 23%. Got the majority. Got 3 out of 10. Then, yeah. Our picks. It was always going to be a tough week with the way it ended. So I picked Max to win. Obviously, Lewis won. I picked Lewis to get second. Leclerc got second. I picked Bottas for third. So I got Bottas right, thankfully. If only Leclerc held off, we would have got an extra point there. I went fastest lap for Bottas. I thought Bottas was going to do the shit that Perez did, where he was just going to have a shit race and like pit for fastest lap. But yeah, it ended up being Perez. He ended up being the wingman type thing, doing the fastest lap bullshit. First finisher in Q1. Got Leclerc right. First finisher in Q2. Got Alonso right. First to retire. I just threw Yuki out there. It's so hard to pick retirement. Ended up being Max. It got 18 out of 20 finishes right. I didn't get safety car right. And I didn't get the margin right. So, wait, what was the margin? 2.2 to 4. Wow, okay. I probably should have got that one right. That wasn't a bad week considering how unpredictable the Grand Prix ended up being. How did the league go? So Britain, we had 2 people, Tick and T-Mac, 5 out of 10. Congrats to them. Then we had a bunch of us on 4 out of 10. Quite a few guys on 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10. So yeah, I was still up there again. I'm killing an F1 play. I'm the man. I'd probably be leading F1 play if I did a league for this where we added up everyone's points from each week. So I'm the man. And yeah, T-Mac killed it in F1 play and fantasy this week, so good on him. But guys, that's going to conclude my Grand Prix review for the Formula 1 British Grand Prix. Overall, great weekend. I felt, first time ever having a sprint race in Formula 1, the new sprint format. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss as well. A lot of different opinions from the weekend. But overall, another fantastic Formula 1 weekend. What we want is entertainment, and we got that from the entire weekend. So fantastic. I'd rate that Grand Prix maybe B+. Next week, we've got the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hungarian Grand Prix in the past has been really, really good. Max and Lewis have had great fights there the last 2 years. So now they're in almost equal cars. So it should be a great Grand Prix. Same time, same place on the stream. I'll be doing a watch along for every single session. Practice 1, 2, 3, qualifying and the race. We're back to normal. No more sprint Grand Prix stuff. Feel free to tune in on the stream at any point to discuss the weekend or sync on up for a watch along. But yeah, that's it from the Grand Prix review. I'll see you guys all for Hungary.
Yeah.